Before you scroll past this video, listen to this. This is the heartbreaking story of a man who trusted his wife completely. He believed her love was pure. He believed her family accepted him. But he was wrong. The people he respected led him into the forest. They tied him, and they buried him alive. But what happened next shocked an entire community. This is a story of betrayal, greed, miracles, and justice. Stay with me. You need to hear this. And if you love deep African stories, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another one. Chukwudi Okori was the kind of man every woman prayed for. Hardworking, gentle, patient, soft-spoken. A man who believed in peace more than anything. At 35, he had built a quiet, simple life as a carpenter in a Enugu state. He wasn't wealthy, but he earned enough to feed his home. What he lacked in money, he made up for in love. His wife, Ogechi, was beautiful, educated, and came from a proud family. Her parents never approved of the marriage. Her mother always said, "Chukwudi is too poor for our daughter." Her father said, "She deserves a man with class." But Ogechi insisted she loved Chukwudi, so she married him. For the first 2 years, things were peaceful. Until her family decided they wanted something from Chukwudi. Something he did not know they were planning. Something dark. Ogechi's family had a history of wickedness that outsiders never knew. They believed in a strange tradition passed down for generations. If a daughter marries a poor man, the man must be used as a sacrifice so the family will be wealthy. No one in the village talked about it openly, but whispers existed. They said Okeke family, the family Chukwudi married from, had become rich through mysterious means. Chukwudi had heard rumors, but he never paid attention. He trusted his wife, he respected her family, and he believed good intentions would protect him. He was wrong. It started as a normal day. Chukwudi woke up early, swept the compound, bathed, and prepared for work. Ogechi was quiet, unusually quiet. When he asked what was wrong, she forced a smile and said, "I'm fine. Nothing is wrong." But deep inside, she was hiding something that burned her conscience like fire. Her parents had given her an instruction the night before. She must bring Chukwudi to the family house on Saturday. They said it was for a family prayer, but she knew it was a lie. She was too afraid to tell him the truth. That Saturday morning, she said, "Honey, my parents want us to visit. Let's go together." Chukwudi smiled. "Of course. It's been a while since I saw them." He dressed up, locked the door, and followed her. He did not know he was walking into death. When they reached the family compound, everything was strangely quiet. No children playing, no neighbors, no music. Just 7 men, Ogechi's uncles, standing outside the big family house, staring at Chukwudi with cold eyes. Chukwudi greeted them warmly, but none of them greeted him back. Before he could ask what was happening, 2 of the men grabbed him from behind. "What is this?" Chukwudi shouted. "Let me go!" His wife looked away. She couldn't bear to watch. Another man blindfolded Chukwudi. He cried out, "Ogechi! What is happening?" She covered her ears and cried, "I'm sorry! I'm so sorry!" Those were the last words he heard before a heavy object struck the back of his head. Everything went black. When Chukwudi woke up, he couldn't move. His hands were tied. His legs were tied. His whole body felt tight. It was dark, very dark. He tried to breathe. The air was heavy. His chest burned. His heart raced. Then he touched something above him with his tied hands. Wood. Soil. Darkness. Fear swallowed him. He understood immediately. He had been buried alive. He screamed his wife's name. He shouted until his voice cracked. "Please, somebody help me! I am alive! I am not dead!" But no one answered. Above him, the men poured soil. He heard their voices. One uncle said, "Don't pity him. This sacrifice will lift our family." Another replied, "Before nightfall, the spirits will take him." Chikwudi cried like a child. He prayed. He kicked the coffin. He begged God. But the soil kept falling. Inside the grave, Chikwudi began to lose air. His head spun. His heartbeat slowed. He whispered, "God, if I ever did good in my life, please don't let me die like this." Then something strange happened. The air inside the coffin became cool. A soft breeze touched his face. A soft voice whispered, "Fear not. You will not die here." He opened his eyes, even though he was in darkness. Suddenly, he felt strength rush into his body. The ropes around his hands loosened on their own. Then he felt something pushing the coffin lid upward, something powerful, but invisible. Before he understood what was happening, the coffin cracked open. The soil began to shift. A force, greater than anything he had ever felt, lifted him upward. Slowly, gently. When he opened his eyes again, he was lying on the ground outside the grave, free, breathing, alive. He stared at the sky and cried. God had rescued him. As he tried to stand, he saw an old woman standing beside a palm tree. Her face was wrinkled, but her eyes were bright. She said, "My son, your spirit is stronger than their wickedness." "Who are you?" he asked. She replied, "I am Neka, the last guardian of this land. I protect the innocent." Then she told him something shocking. Ogechi's family had buried 7 men alive over the years, all of them husbands of their daughters, all of them used for wealth rituals. But she added, "You are the first man God allowed to escape. Your survival is a sign. Their power has expired." Chikwudi wept, not for himself, but for the love he had given to people who wanted him dead. The old woman touched his shoulder and said, "Go. Run from here. Do not look back. Your justice will come. Their day is near." Then she disappeared like smoke. Chikwudi ran from the forest barefoot. He ran until his legs almost broke. He reached a neighboring town and collapsed in front of a church. The pastor and members rushed out. They saw a dusty man covered in soil, shaking with fear. When he told them what happened, the church members gasped. "That family again?" The pastor said, "My son, sit down. Your story is not the first we've heard." They cleaned him, fed him, prayed for him, and took pictures of his injuries as evidence. By evening, the pastor drove him to the police station. Chikwudi reported everything. The police moved quickly. That night, they stormed Ogechi's family compound. The uncles tried to run. They were caught. Her father tried to bribe the officers. He failed. Her mother collapsed and fainted. Ogechi screamed when she saw the police. The officers opened the fresh grave. The coffin was empty. Everyone panicked. One officer shouted, "Where is the man you buried?" The uncles shook with fear. "How is he alive?" They were arrested immediately. The entire town gathered as the news spread. The family who buried men alive has been exposed. Elders came, pastors came, journalists came. The story shocked the region. Ogechi cried as they carried her parents away. Her mother screamed, "That boy is not human. He cannot survive the ritual." But Chukudi only said one thing: "God saved me, not man." The court hearing was packed. People came from far and near to witness the trial. The judge listened. Doctors testified. The pastor testified. Chukudi showed the rope marks on his wrists. Finally, the judge said, "Your actions are wicked, inhuman, and unforgivable. You buried an innocent man alive for money. You will face full punishment." Ogechi's parents and uncles were sentenced to life in prison. The news spread across the entire state like wildfire. Chukwudi walked out of the court in silence. He was free, alive, saved. But his heart was broken beyond repair. He did not know what the future held, but he knew one thing: the God who rescued him from the grave would never abandon him. After the trial, people gathered around Chukwudi outside the court building, touching him, praising him, thanking God. Some said, "Your survival is a miracle." Others whispered, "That family has finally been exposed." But Chukwudi didn't feel like a hero. He felt empty. He walked slowly toward the church bus that brought him. His clothes were neat now, but his heart was scattered like broken pieces. When the pastor touched his shoulder gently, he asked, "My son, where will you go now?" Chukwudi stared at the dusty road and replied, "I don't know, sir. I have no home anymore." The pastor smiled. "You survived death. God will guide your next step." That evening, Ogechi requested to see Chukwudi at the police station. She was in tears when he walked into the questioning room. Her hand shook. Her eyes were red. "Chukwudi," she whispered, "I never wanted this. I swear." He looked at her calmly. "You took me there." She fell to her knees and cried. "I was scared. My parents threatened me. They said if I refused, they would curse me. They would curse our children. I didn't want you to die." Chukwudi's voice was low. "But you watched them drag me." She covered her face and cried harder. "I begged them to stop. I told them not to kill you. I even tried to delay the ritual so you could escape, but they beat me and locked me inside." Her tears shocked Chukwudi. He didn't know whether to believe her or walk away. His heart was torn in two. Ogechi looked into his eyes and whispered, "I still love you. Please don't leave me. You are my husband." But Chukwudi felt a deep pain inside. He answered quietly, "A woman who truly loves her husband will die defending him, not lead him to danger." Ogechi cried loudly as police officers escorted her away. That was the last time he saw her. Word spread across the entire region. Quote, "A husband buried alive survived and exposed the killers." People from different villages visited the church where Chukwudi stayed temporarily. Some brought food, some brought clothes. Some just wanted to see the man who came back from the grave. But not everyone was happy. The Okeke family, his in-laws, had a long lineage. Many relatives believed Chukwudi should have died quietly so their name wouldn't be disgraced. Some even threatened him secretly. But Chukwudi no longer feared them. When a few relatives came to the church gate and shouted threats, the pastor confronted them boldly. "No weapon formed against this man shall prosper." The men ran away. One night, Chukwudi woke up screaming. He dreamed he was inside the coffin again. Darkness everywhere, soil falling on his face, cold air disappearing. He heard Ogechi shouting, "Chukwudi, forgive me!" He woke up sweating. The pastor rushed in. "My son, what is it?" Chukwudi sat up, breathing hard. "I saw it again. The grave, the burial, the voices." The pastor prayed for him. But the nightmares continued, night after night. He began to fear sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he returned to the darkness. The pastor told him, "Trauma does not leave quickly. It will take time. God saved you once. He will heal your mind too." But healing felt far away. 3 days later, something mysterious happened. At exactly midnight, the wind in the church compound changed. The air became cold. Dogs in the area began barking. Chukwudi lay awake, unable to sleep. Then he saw her, the old woman who rescued him from the grave. She appeared at the church door, glowing softly like a lantern. She called gently, "Chukwudi?" He stood slowly, shocked but not afraid. "You again, the guardian." She smiled. "Yes, I came to strengthen you." She walked closer, her feet not touching the ground. "You survived death because your destiny is not ordinary." Chukwudi swallowed hard. "But why me? Why did God save me?" She answered, "Because your innocence cried louder than their wickedness. You are meant to break a family curse that has lasted for generations." Chukwudi's eyes widened. "What curse?" The old woman touched his hand. A cold but comforting wave flowed through him. Then she said, "For more than 80 years, the Okekia family has used innocent men to feed their wealth. But their evil has come to an end because you lived." She disappeared again. From that night, Chukwudi's nightmares weakened. He slept longer. He breathed easier. He began to believe he was chosen for something bigger. A week later, police officers decided to investigate the burial site where Chukwudi was dumped. They took him, the pastor, and forensic experts to the forest. When they reached the spot, everyone froze. The grave was still open, the coffin broken, the soil scattered, just the way Chukwudi left it. But there was something else. 6 old graves were found around the area. 6 skeletons. 6 men who had been buried alive before him. Journalists took pictures. Police recorded the scene. One officer whispered, "This family is wicked beyond imagination." Another said, "How did this man survive? This is not ordinary." Chukwudi simply closed his eyes and said quietly, "God saved me." When the news reached Chukwudi's village, his mother fainted. People rushed to revive her. She had believed her son was working peacefully in his marriage, not knowing he had been buried alive. When Chukwudi finally returned home, she ran to him, crying uncontrollably. My son, they almost killed you. What did you do to deserve such wickedness?" Chukwudi held her and cried too. Neighbors gathered, some prayed, some shouted in anger. His mother kept repeating, I told you not to marry from that family. That house is full of blood." Chukwudi didn't argue. He had no strength. He simply said, "Mama, I am alive. Let us thank God." Thank you for watching this emotional journey of betrayal, survival, and divine rescue. Moral lesson of the story: not everyone smiling with you truly loves you. Family is not defined by blood. Sometimes strangers care more. Greed pushes people into darkness. When God says your time has not come, no enemy can bury you. Your innocence can fight battles you cannot see. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so more people can learn from this powerful lesson. See you in the next story.